Hi everyone, I'm back for chapter 11. Light flooded over Jack and all of his limbs relaxed all at once. He pushed himself unsteadily to his feet and then smiled at the not-so-smug boy sitting in front of him. But I can't lose, Pan said, throwing his hands up impotently. Not Emperor Pan, the first benevolent ruler and most handsome boy in all the land. Don't worry, Jack said. As Emperor Jack the First, pretty irritated ruler, but not too bad a guy, honestly. I won't have you executed. But, Jack picked up Pan by his shirt and looked him straight in the eye. But you do need to follow through with your deal. You do as I say now. So to start, you're going to end whatever magic is keeping these adults here. They're no longer kids. They need to grow up, or at least realize that they did like 40 years ago. But no one has to grow up in the land of never, Pan whined. Okay then. Then they can go with my second option, Jack told him. In this case, I exile you for... Fine, Pan shouted. I'll end all my spells. The boy didn't make a move, but suddenly Jack heard gasps all around him. I'm old, one of the adults admitted. You are old, another one said. Wait, so am I. And fat, said a third one. How do we get like this? I thought we could eat sweets all day long and never change. You idiots. You think even magic can make that possible? Pan said at them crankily. You're all stupid heads that I don't want to have fun with anyway. Jack glanced at the boy, starting to reprimand him, and then noticed that the adults weren't the only thing that had changed. Whereas he had been holding a human boy just moments before, now he held a half-goat, half-human creature. God, Jack said, dropping Pan on the ground. Ow, Pan said, rubbing his behind. What? Oh, wow, he's a... Whatever those things are, May said, pointing and snapping her fingers over and over as she tried to remember. A satyr, Philip said quietly. Mischievous yet usually harmless, as they are mostly too preoccupied seeking out their own pleasure to cause any real trouble. I wasn't going to hurt anyone, Pan yelled. Except me, Jack said, poking him hard in the chest. A little too hard to be honest, but the point had to be made. Me, you were going to kill. Oh, you're fine, you big crybaby, Pan said. Now, didn't you say something about having to go? I want my mother, one of the men said. Me too, I want to go home, said one of the women. No, Pan yelled. You'll all ruin everything. I need you to stay here and play with me. I think it's about time they went home to their parents, Jack told him. Let them go. No, Pan shouted. No. You can't leave me like this. You lost, May pointed out. You have to do what Jack says now. Pan glared at her, then back at Jack, his eyes filled with fire and hate. Fine, go. All of you go. He waved his hands, and one by one the kids seemed to fold in on themselves like paper folding in half and disappearing into thin air. I don't even care, Pan continued, stamping his feet, waving his arms dramatically. Just leave me here all alone. You'll beg me to let you back into the land of never, but I won't. The land of never never wants you back. Yeah, they'll probably be okay with that, Jack told him. And you better have sent them back to their real homes. No tricks. You're so suspicious, Pan told him indignantly. You won. I am honor-bound to do what you say. Now you go too. I'll send you away. Just go. Jack held up his hand. No, not just yet. First, we need you to end the magic spell for us. Now Pan looked at him suspiciously. What kind of spell? The kind that puts an entire city of fairy queens to sleep, May told him. Pan laughed loudly. Next you'll tell me to do away with the wicked queen. Seriously, get out of my lands. The princess is not joking, Philip said. We need you to dispel a curse. You think a satyr can do that kind of magic? Pan shouted. If I could, you think I'd need to trick those kids into thinking they never aged? All we can do is illusion and some minor transportation spells. You learned to do those things too if you had to walk around on these legs. But any spell that can take out a fairy queen is going to need someone equally as powerful, and there are very few of those people left. Give us names, Jack said. The Wicked Queen, Pan said, counting on his fingers, and that's it. Otherwise, you'll need a fairy queen or an ifrit or something. I vote pass on an ifrit, May said, raising her hand. Looks like it's malevolent after all, Jack said, glancing over at Philip, who winced at her name. It had been 3 months since the evil fairy queen had caused the prince so much pain, but the memory didn't go away as easily as the wounds had under her magic. Pan's look went from indignant to curious. Why would you ever want Malevolent's help? None of your business, May told him. Pan brightened immediately. But that sounds like an adventure. He leapt to his feet, landing as a human boy once more. And there's no one as heroic and adventurous as Prince Pan the Pantheist. I'm pretty sure that doesn't even mean what you think it means, May told him. It should, Pan told her. You're not coming, Jack said. Just send us to her castle. Pan laughed again. She's not there. No one is. No one's heard from her in months. So we'll find her, Jack said, quickly growing irritated with the creature. And he was started out pretty irritated already. She's hiding from the Wolf King, Pan said with a sneer. If he can't find her, then you'll have less luck. You've got 0 luck. You've got -0 luck. Sounds about right, May said. So find us another fairy queen. There'll have to be more, Jack said. Give us a name and a location and we'll leave. If something took out the fairy homelands, there are no more, Pan said. 12 queen minus Malevolent the Exiled, and you've got 11, all living on high in their magical land, not letting anyone who can not letting in anyone who can't hold a tune. He kicked at the deck of the ship. Stupid musical magic. Jack's heart sunk. They can't have all been there. 1 or 2 must have. Well, there's one who gave it all up, of course, Pan said. But she's a special case, and if you want her name, you'll have to beat me in another. Before he could finish, May leapt forward and punched him in the face. Pan fell backward to sit down hard on the deck of the pirate ship, completely stunned. Finally, he looked up. Fair enough, he said. Her name is Maribella, but no one calls her that anymore. Not since she fell in love with the Sea King and gave up her fairiness to be with him. Pan frowned at that theatrically. Now she's called the Sea Witch by the merfolk. Terribly tragic story. The Sea King didn't love her in return, despite the fact that she turned herself into a mermaid for him. Are you sure that's how the story goes? May said with a frown. Yes, stupid girl, Pan said, rubbing his cheek where she hit him. The fairy queen became a mermaid. It's the first time anyone ever actively chose to go fish. May snorted while from behind them someone stirred against the ship's cabin. What's that ye be saying? The pirate captain, Captain Sword said. Jack had almost forgotten the pirate crew was still tied up. Pan sighed. Our game is over. Go home. These people ruined it all for you. I apologize for them since they seem to be completely without manners. What's that about the Sea Witch and the Sea King again? The Captain Sword asked, pushing himself to his feet. Now that Pan's magic had worn off, the man looked both older and hairier. A beard ran down almost to his waist with streaks of darkish blue throughout. His clothes, once regal and red, were now entirely black, covered in a black coat. On top of his head sat a three-sided hat, and at his waist was a wicked-looking sword. Oh, be quiet already, Pan shouted, not even looking at the man. The pirate growled and then flexed his arms, and the ropes tied around him burst, freeing him. Not a second later, the former Captain Sword held a real sword in his now restored hand to Pan's throat. Who are you? Pan screeched. The pirate roared and slammed Pan against the side of the boat. I'm your death, and if you don't answer my questions, and your death be named Captain Bluebeard. Now where can I find the Sea King? Jack and Philip both gasped. Captain Bluebeard, the man so wanted by kingdoms without number that he had to dye his beard blue to disguise his true identity? The pirate so evil he married and then killed dozens of women just for their dowries. The creature so horrendous even the sea itself has said to reject him? If it were possible, Pan's eyes grew even wider. I know you. You're the Not anymore, Captain Bluebeard roared, picking Pan up bodily with one hand. You've run out of time, little man. I'd make you walk the plank, but it wouldn't be easy walking with no legs to do it. Wait, let's just talk about this, Jack shouted. We need him still. With no warning at all, the pirate's other hand flew out and smashed Jack in the face, sending him spinning around to crash into the railing that extended around the side of the boat. Jack hit the railing hard, doubling over it to look out over the water. And there, staring up at him, were 3 mermaids who'd given them their tears earlier. Except now, all traces of friendliness were gone. Now, they just looked hungry. Grab him, the brunette hissed. The red-headed mermaid exploded out of the water high enough to grab Jack's shirt with both hands. She pulled him up and over the ship's rail, and then they both fell into the water, disappearing under the waves. All right, I'll see you guys next time for Chapter 12.